Hi there, Flosstube. Welcome to my channel. My name's Amanda, and this is Sycamore Stitches. This is a channel about cross stitching. This is Flosstube number 14, I believe. I guess I'll have to double check that if I'm wrong. You'll see it when you first click on this. Anyhow, I've done a lot of stitching since we last talked a couple weeks ago, and I'm a little late on this. It's 2 days past the first day of spring, but I had a lot of goals, I had some goals, I should say, of things that I wanted to finish and then start for the first day of spring, and so let me tell you about those. Firstly, I finished this. Yay! This is Ski Lift from Awesome Pattern Studio on Etsy, which I mentioned last time. I didn't realize, I bought this pattern a while ago, that they are a Ukrainian designer. So I have recently gone and bought like a whole bunch more patterns from them because I really like the nice bright colors, and there's a lot of kind of like nature scenes that they have, and they have like cities and stuff like that. A lot of fun travel pieces. But anyhow, yeah, this took longer than I thought. It is like, full cover dough in there. Even the white parts are stitched, which, stitching white on white is not the most fun. I put about 65 hours into this. So yeah, I don't know when exactly I started it. I think maybe in November, but then I was barely doing anything on it until about January. Second half of January until now is when I've been doing the majority of the stitching on this. So yay. I don't know how I'm going to finish this. It's round, but I don't want to put it in a hoop because like these clouds stick off the side. So I will probably put this in a square. I'll probably put it in a square frame, kind of like, I think of it as my winter version of this one. Sorry about the glare that I did for myself. This is this one's bigger. But I'll probably frame it, in a square frame, a larger square frame, kind of like that. And maybe they will share, like one will be up in the summer and one will be up in the winter. Because I like to camp in the summer and ski in the winter. So that's what these pieces are for. So that's my only finish, but it was a big one. I did fully finish one thing, but I don't even have it or a picture. I think I mentioned before I had made a piece for my dad last year that he loved and kept on his deck and forgot to bring in the winter. So the piece itself was fine, but the frame and like everything was like totally warped and needed thrown away. So I finished that this week, but I've already given it back to him. So I don't have that to show, but it wasn't really new. I just had to redo it. I also have something that is like a finish for now. It's not finished, but this is my Owl Forest embroidery piece called Northern Land. It's very large and it's a mirror image. So I knew I was probably going to need a break in between one side and the other just because you're doing the same thing. But basically I've done the first quarter. And this feels like a fall or winter kind of piece to me, and I was just slowing down on it. So I'm going to put it away and do a different Owl Forest piece for right now, and then bring it back out in a few months. But I finished the first quarter. And all I've been doing since we last talked was this large middle motif here with this part like branching out. So actually I got a lot done recently. That was like the most I've been doing on this piece in quite a while. It looks great, but I just need a little break from it. I think it's not really my typical style. It goes a little bit slower than my regular stitching because it's variegated thread too. But I mean, I like it, but it's just, I'm slowing down on it and I just want to take a break from it, do something else and come back to it because I think then I will be more excited for it again. So that one's going to go away for a little bit, for at least a few months till fall or winter. And I'm going to work on some other like Owl Forest pieces to replace it until then. I was going to start my Dragonflies piece. That was the plan. I wanted to do that as my spring piece. Well, I got it out yesterday and realized that I bought the wrong size fabric. I don't know why I did that. I need more like a 1/4 yard, and I have an 1/8 yard. It's a square piece, and I bought like, you know, something that would be more for like a rectangle. So I was gonna show. I don't even know where it went. Yeah, this is the piece of fabric I had for it, which is a Belfast linen jade. It's so pretty, but like it's too small for a big square piece. So I took out my measuring tape yesterday, and I was disappointed to see that. Less disappointed than if I had already started stitching it, of course. And so decided that instead, this was also a spring piece. This kit that I just got from Owl Forest called Princesses Frogs, or Frogs Princesses, which is just a translation of something, so it doesn't. Anyhow, this is what that looks like. It's a princess with frogs and lily pads and a swan. I am not a huge fan of the fabric that came with the kit. I mean, it's pretty fabric, but I don't feel like it contrasts enough. It's this kind of like olivey, like olive green. Especially up against the greens that come with it. It just doesn't feel like it is a strong contrast, which I think is kind of the point, but like I like more contrast with my pieces. So I started this just today, and I decided to use instead my piece of Fortnite fabrics that I got in February, which is called Staying Alive, and it's a green with some yellow and blue undertones. So maybe you can see a little bit, but it's got a little more contrast. I think you can tell the difference there if I put these two different options, and especially with the greens, you can see. Oops, I dropped a floss. More contrast, which is what I prefer. Which, I mean, a lot of Owl Forest pieces don't have a ton of contrast to the way they're stitched, but not really my preference. So anyhow, I started this today. I just did a little bit of, this is like the edging of the woman's robe. You can see her in the middle there. And this is just about like an hour's worth of work today. So that's cool. I guess we've moved into new starts. Even though I didn't say it. That's what we're doing now. This kit also came with like 2 needle minders. So I've got the little like royal frog one there. And there's also a lily pad one that's still in the box. Okay. I also have another new start. This was the reason I wanted to finish my ski lift, because I have this 4 seasons piece that started with spring, and I wanted to start it in spring. And I want to work on it all year, like in the seasons. And it is from Emma Congdon's Cross Stitch for the Earth. And there is the picture. So I am working just on this section here and up in spring. And I don't think it's going to take me 3 months to do that section. I did like a day and a half, and I'll show you where I'm at. But I don't know if I'm going to move on to summer before I get to summer. So it might have a companion piece with it that if I finish before the next season, I might work on in the interim, but we'll see. We'll see. I know I'm weird. I have to monitor my number of whips, unlike most people on here. I just keep making up more rules for myself so that I don't feel like I'm getting too many going. Anyhow, this is about 2 days worth of work, and you can see I've got the bunnies. They are all done except for their eyes. and the daffodils, or wait, yes, I said that right. Thought I said daisy, I said daffodil. And these are the wings of the bird. And I need a couple more colors in this little rainbow thing here. But yeah. Oh, I should have taken this off. This is my least favorite grime guard because I don't like the color red. There, it looks prettier without it. But I didn't buy that grime guard. I bought a grime guard off Etsy, and the seller was super nice and just sent me an extra. And so I do use it, but not my preferred colors. Okay, so those are my 2 new starts. What else do we have that we worked on? My works in progress, my whips since last time. I got a lot of progress on this one. Oh, let me show you the picture of it when it's done first. This is again from the also from the Cross Stitch for the Earth book. Kind of weird to be doing 2 out of here at the same time, but I am right now. This one says, "Be kind to all that live," and has a bunch of little critters all around it. And last time I had just the word kind with the little spider. I know the snake wasn't done yet, maybe a little bit of the duck, but he wasn't done. So now I have the duck is done, the snake is done, to all that is done, and part of the word live, as well as this butterfly and all of this greenery. Most of that has been since last time. There's even some deer antlers and hooves and some like tree stuff going on there. But yeah, it's coming along really nicely. It's definitely one that once I get into it, I want to just keep going for that day and not like just do a strand and be done. Another one of my spring starts. I started it before last time now. Oops, that's the pattern. Don't take that one out. Is Dilly Dahlia by Ink Circles. And I changed the color of the fabric and the color of the 2 green colors. Just left the 3 purple colors. This is what I haven't changed. And this is where I'm at. Last time I had the middle circle done and maybe like this much lilac, this lighter purple done. So I did all of this lighter purple, almost to the middle point of it, and also started some of the green of the stem and one of the leaves. I'm not sure that this is my favorite type of stitching, where you're kind of following a just kind of random pattern. Like it doesn't like, I don't know. There's a lot of thinking involved of like where you're going next and stuff and how to like cover all your ground. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think it's my favorite type of pattern, but it's small. And so I think I will like it long enough to get it done. This is on a 16 count Ada by Witcholt called, I think it's called Sea Lily. I guess I should have mentioned what other things were on, but okay. Just have a couple more that I worked on. I haven't touched my watercolor bear in a couple weeks. I do need to get back to him. Next is my Twisted Rainbow sampler from Northern Expressions Needlework. I'm in this second band of specialty stitches still. So band number 4. It's made up of 18 bands and 19 colors. Yeah, I think that's right. I only did 1 row of specialty stitches since we last did this. The one where I switched colors, so this bottom kind of row of Norwich stitches. Let's see if we can get that to focus in a little bit on it. Which are kind of, so far as all the specialty stitches I've done, those have given me the most trouble when I did them up above here. They went smoother the second time. But then I started on the scallop stitches, which is my last row to finish this band, and they weren't right. And again, it's like I just had to put it down, and I'm going to come back to it. But hopefully by next time, I would like to be through this color. So that's one more row of specialty stitches to finish this band, and then half of the next cross stitch band. We'll see. I only work on this one kind of like early in the morning when I have the good light, since it's on a black linen. I can't really do this one like in the evening. I can, it's harder to do, especially the specialty stitches. So like the cross stitch part, I can do pretty well, even with like not as good lighting, because it's over 2. The specialty stitches are over 1, and yeah, they really, I need to have good light to see them. But it's still coming along well. I'm happy with it. I do want to try to plow through this color and one more color of yellow so that I can get to the warm colors that I think I'm going to be enjoying more, because I like warm colors more. Sorry, I'm saying that wrong. I want to get to the cool colors, the blues, purples, and greens. I enjoy cool colors more than warm colors. So, okay. I had to pause for a minute and pick up my kids from school and start dinner. But we're back, and now I don't feel quite as rushed, but we are almost through everything anyhow. So, my last whip that I didn't show you is this one that is not exactly, well, it isn't a cross stitch. It is a counted canvas work, needlepoint type thing, but just on blank canvas. So not like the needlepoint where it is a painted picture and you fill it in. And it's called Azaleas by Moonlight from Nancy's Needle. And I did a little more work on this. Last time I just had this kind of middle. I had this middle square. You can see the square part. I had that done. I might not have had that dark blue in there. So I started coming out and doing, I think I did like 3 colors around the sides there. Everything that's beyond the dark blue. I did run into one issue. This was weird. I had assumed that this was symmetrical. In fact, like parts of the pattern say like, go ahead and flip it over and work on it. So I was like, well, it's symmetrical then, right? Well, it wasn't. I made it symmetrical because I wasn't going to pull things out by the time I realized it, but it had slightly different counts for the sides and the top and the bottom. And I made a mistake because I didn't read that. I just assumed that all 4 sides were the same, but now all 4 sides are the same. And I think that might have been the only place where that's true, but I guess, I mean, I'm just going to make it symmetrical. It's close enough. So this is fun to work with, and it kind of goes a little fast because you can see the stitches are bigger. There you can kind of see. They're longer stitches. So this is a new thing that I'm doing, and it's kind of fun. And if you are interested in it, I will refer you again to Carolyn's Stitches. That's the Flosstube, where I had seen her doing a couple of these projects and thought, yeah, I want to do that too. So, and she has some tutorials about how to set them up and stuff, because they're a little different. You use like pearl cotton, like thicker pieces of thread. And I'll show you the threads I'm using on that. So like there's pearl cottons, and then there's some glittery Caron Snow and some, what are these? Silk lame braid by Rainbow Gallery. So these are the glittery ones. But it's something a little different, but I still, I like it. Like, I've tried other things that are different that I'm not as big of a fan of, like embroidery is not really my thing. I really like the precision of having a grid to do things on, which is why I like cross stitch. But this also has a grid, so it's all good. Okay, so those are all my whips and finishes and starts. I have just a tiny bit of haul, not very much, just a little bit. These 18 count Ada were like briefly on sale on Amazon. They were only $2.50 and there was a max of 4, so I bought 4 of them because they're normally like $6.50, and so that was a good deal. And I'm just kind of working my way down the counts. Like, obviously I did 14 and then 28, and then I've been doing 16 and 32. So now I want to try some 18. And I don't think I have any projects on 36 yet, but I could get some. I had gone straight to a 28 count 1/1 and hated it. So I kind of, maybe that's too small. 14 count I think is a little too big. Although 28 doesn't bother me as much, but still, like, coverage-wise, I think I already like 16 better. So I think I'm just kind of moving my way down, trying different sizes, and then, like, I'll find a sweet spot, and then I'll know, like, where it is I like to hang out most. So I got those, and I'm going to use those for, I showed you last time that I bought a bunch more patterns from Awesome Pattern Studios of national parks. This is Crater Lake. I only have 2 of them printed out, and this is Olympic Park. But I have 6 total that are national parks. So I would like to try doing these on the 18 count because they're very large patterns, so I kind of want to bring them as small as I can. Also, there's a guide for these patterns to make them in more of an oval to like cut off the sides, which is what I plan to do, not rectangles. But I'm going to try doing them on 18 count, but I want them all to be on the same because they're going to kind of all match when I eventually do them. So that's kind of the plan for that. I also just went to Joann's and got a bunch of DMC that I needed for several projects. One of them being, I should have sorted this out. One of them being the DMC floss that I need for my Mirabilia that I might even try to start like when I finish one of these spring projects if I get a fabric for it. I don't have a fabric for it yet. I suspect that the one coming this month from Fortnite Fabrics might be a good fabric for it, just from like seeing the little picture that came when I paid the invoice. I won't know for sure until I get it, which I think they should get sent out like this week. So maybe I'll get it by next week. And yeah, I think that if that fabric works, then we'll go from there. I also just bought some smaller 26 needles because I didn't have any. And if I'm going down and count on my fabric, I also need to go down on my needle size. And maybe that's part of the reason that I hated doing that 1/1 when I did it. So I need to like experiment a little bit with that. And just some needle threaders because I never use these, but working on that canvas piece with the pearl cotton, I need them. I have one and I'm worried it's going to break, so I picked up some more because that thread is quite thick and I do find it difficult to get that threaded through the needle. So now I can sort these out into all the projects they go to. And there's like 30 some skeins there. So as far as plans, let's see. I don't know if I have main plans. I had all this stuff I wanted to finish by winter so I could start my spring stitching. And now I've started 3 spring stitching projects. So I just want to get working on those. The Be Kind to All That Live, I would like that to be done by the end of April, but that's still 6 weeks away, so that's pretty doable because that one's a present. If this fabric, when I get it, is what I want for my botanical garden, I will want to finish the little Dilly Dahlia piece very quickly so that I can start that. But other than that, I'm just feeling kind of excited because I have several new starts and wanting to stitch on all of them, but can't do them all at one time. So feel like there was just a big flurry of activity, and now I need to just calm back down, not keep starting everything. So that's the plan, to not keep starting everything, to make progress on some of the things I've already started, and also to get my Between Two Pines framed, because I should have had that. I already have all the materials to frame it, but I hadn't done that yet. And then the ski lift, I need to actually buy something to frame that. So that one probably won't get done by the next time I do a video, which I think I'm going to be aiming for twice a month, which is what I was originally doing. And then I was trying to do them a little more often, and I don't know if that's working out great. So we're just going to keep with that unless I change my mind. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for sticking around. I know it wasn't very chatty this time, but that's probably good so that we don't have a very long video. But to the point with cross stitch and not everywhere else. So take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye.